We were immigrants when we came here. Now I guess the word is refugees. We were different when we came to, especially when we came to America. We had, I had moved to several different places. I was really not Italian. In Italy, we didn't have much to do with the Italian people, and there weren't that many Jews, and I had no family. So, my immediate family was really the only people that I interacted with. I went to school, but we didn't go to other people's homes the way you do and sleep over. So we were different. Parents were very warm and very caring, and they always made us feel comfortable and protected wherever we were, even in the war, even going into the cellars. I don't remember being frightened. Yeah, my parents they had traveled from Poland to Germany, from Germany to France, lived in all these places, learned the languages, and started a business and had to leave. Then they went to Italy, where they stayed for 17 years, and then they came to America. So they had been used to having to change and to become different people in each country, and so they taught us to be strong and to change because they had to. In America also, when we came here, people didn't accept, even other Jews did not accept us, called us greeners. Green meaning new, different. There was a song, the Greener Cousina, the green cousin who comes to America. She's different. She comes from overseas. She doesn't speak the language. She doesn't eat the same foods. It takes a while until you become integrated.
My mother was a housewife, and my father was a furniture maker. I went to school. I went to Les Jacob. I also went to public school. And nothing very special. Just to, play outside or whatever there was, and that's it. Not very much. Go to shul, on Shabbat, my parents would go to sleep and we would go for a walk. And that's about it. Wasn't very exciting. Well, it was right after Passover when the Germans had come in a little before that. And after Passover, they took my parents away and my brother. Next, I came home to look for my sister because she had gone to a dentist and we were there alone. And after that, we went into a ghetto. We were told to leave the house where you were and come into just a community that, was the ghetto. Yeah, when we know that we're coming in, we went away to a small place, the farm somewhere. And we stayed there for about a week or so, and then we came back. I don't actually remember where I lived with my sister, because we were together, and then we were separated, and then we were together, and we were separated. So it was Zakharkov. And that's when there was completely clean of all women and children. Only the men that worked in the ghetto there, which became a camp after that, that they told us that we should meet at where you take beds. And there were wagons there, and as soon as we got there, they took us away to Zakokov into a synagogue. I went there to Zakokov with my sister and my nieces. It was so crowded and it was so beautiful. I decided to try and get out of there, and I ran away. And I went back to one of the men that brought us down there, and he was very nice. He could have gotten shot for doing what he did, and he took me back to Krasny. When I came back, there was no place to go. So I was hiding in the woods. I met some of the people that I know, kids that I know there, until we were annoying. There was a small camp there, and we needed food. We didn't have money to buy it, so we used to go down, and they used to give us some stuff. And then the soldiers would shoot, but they probably didn't try to kill us, because if they did, they probably would have. And then they got so annoyed, I guess, that they called, and we were picked up and brought back to Krasny. And that's where I wound up in jail. It was not a jail, that's where they kept us. I was alone. I met my sister when I was picked up, and I was in that jail, or whatever you want to call it. And then she was taken out to work there in the ghetto camp, and I was sent to Budz, and that was a different camp. My sister brought me down to Krasny. Well, she worked with the kids from the commandant. So she, I don't know how it came, but she asked, and he said he'll try to get me down, and they did bring me down here. First, to cover my sister's job being a nanny to the kids, and I used to take him out, put him on. And then there was a few people that tried to escape, and there was somebody told on them, and they got them together, and they shot them, and my sister was among them.
I remember the ship pulling away from the pier, and we were standing at the railing, my father, my mother, and I, looking out at the pier, getting farther and farther away, and my father started to cry, and my mother, she looked at him and she said, "What are you crying about? I mean, we're together, we're leaving Germany. You should be happy." He said, "Well, yeah, of course, you're right. I am happy." He said, "I'm crying because we're leaving so many of our relatives here in Europe, and God only knows when we'll see them again." And unfortunately, he was right, because we never saw them again. They all were slaughtered. There's a Yiddish expression, "Amemuz muzme." If you have to, you have to. If you have to, you do it. And that was my father. He knew that there was danger. Where the danger exactly was coming from, there was no way that he could know. He did a lot to save our family and to bring us to the United States. But some of it was simply luck. Some of it was luck. A lot of it was luck. You can think of it, and you can think of luck as being, Hashem looked after us. But unfortunately, He didn't look after 6 million other Jews. We were refugees leaving Germany, of course.
Right.
But we had a destination. We were eventually coming to the United States, and where we wanted to go. In the meantime, we were going to Cuba. So it wasn't a very strong feeling of being a refugee. But we we identified as that. After that, after we got off the St. Louis in Belgium, then we felt like refugees. It was not pleasant. I mean, you can imagine. But I was lucky because I was always with my parents. So in that sense, I had a certain feeling of security because I was with them. The insecurity came from moving from one place to another, and also knowing what was going on in the world. I mean, you can't feel secure if you know that people are chasing you and trying to kill you. When I got to Buffalo, even then, at the very beginning, I was, well, first of all, I didn't speak English, so that was a problem. By the way, one of the ways I learned English was I talked my parents into allowing me to go to movies a lot. I kept telling them, I'm going to learn English by listening to the movies. My first language was Yiddish, because that's what my parents spoke at home. And of course I learned German. Then we were in France, so I learned French. Then I came to the United States, so I learned English. And then I spent a year at Hadassah in Jerusalem, so I learned Hebrew. And I also speak a little Spanish. I was invited by the Berlin municipality, and not only me, but other people who had been kicked out from Germany, from Berlin. I was invited in the year 2000 to visit. I mean, they were going to bring me over and pay for everything and so on. And I said no. I said, I'm not going. I never want to go back to Germany. And my girlfriend said to me, you really ought to think about going. And she was a teacher, and she said, I'll take off from school. I'll go with you if you decide to go. Well, anyway, I decided to go back. The first day in Germany was extremely unpleasant. I mean, I just felt terrible. You can imagine. But there were 50 other people who had been invited, and that evening we had dinner together and we started talking and we started comparing stories. And I had told my story to a lot of people, but telling them the story was different because they had gone through the same stuff and they could really understand what I was talking about. I felt better after talking to all these people.